Hello, Lauren Ann here today. Yes, I didn't post last week, but last week was Holy Week, and I was having some quality Jesus time, so no apologies there. But, you know, if you do still harbor a little bit of anger in your heart, today is my birthday, and I believe that is some ancient international universal code that you can't be mad at a girl on her 16th birthday. Like, it's like some ancient treaty that was signed, like, before the beginning of time. You can't do it. So I hope that my offenses have been pardoned. Anyways, aside from that, I'm here today, and I'm doing a video. I've seen this trend for a very long time, and I'm gonna jump on the bus. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon, and I'm doing a top 5 Wednesday video, and the prompt of this week really interests me. It was top 5 technologies from books, and I feel like this isn't something I ever think about, and it really got me thinking, like, what kind of, like, technology goodies from books do I really think are cool? And so I came up with a master list. Number 5 is Percy Jackson's sword, Riptide. I love Riptide for many reasons. One, awesome. Always with him. It always comes back to him like a boomerang. And the thing that I really like about this symbolically is that it's his father's gift to him. And every single time he loses Riptide, it comes back to him. It always comes back to him. And to me, in a very far-fetched, twisted way, because these are technically children's books, it's always his dad coming back to him. And his dad always saying, hey, I'm right here with you. And eventually, Riptide becomes an extension of Percy. Also, I love the fact that it's a little compact little pen that turns into this awesome freaking sword that's... I would fall on the sword, probably. But Percy's just like, psh, 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 psh. That was a very bad rendition of the whole concept of it being a pen and him never realizing that he could write with said pen if he chose to. It really amuses me. A lot of what Percy does amuses me. I really love Percy Jackson. 4, and I was trying to film this video earlier and this came out really wrong. It's a little like soul holder thing. I'm getting so many weird looks. In the host. And let me explain myself. When I say soul holder, I mean soul as in little alien with a little like flower looking thing with tentacles coming down in this container that can sustain this alien being's life for millions and billions of years. I don't know, there's just something to me that's fascinating about this jar that can just preserve life. A life form that has conscious thought and feels things and thinks things and is able to make rational decisions, and I don't know, just it being able to be contained in a jar, it just really fascinates me. Number 3 is the portal from the Infernal Devices. Not from the Mortal Instruments, it is specifically from the Infernal Devices because it's Henry's original portal. And I love the portal because A, it's awesome. Hey, you want to go from point A to point B in 0.5 seconds? Step through this circle! Just imagine where you're going and step through this circle and you'll be there. I'm like, that is awesome. That whole idea of like being able to teleport almost, just also I love it because it's Henry's triumph. Like, really, this is like the crown jewel of Henry Branwell. He is ridiculed for being a little bit nerdy and a little bit off his rocker, and nobody ever believes the things he creates are actually going to be of any use. And then he comes and he creates with, because his brain, I feel like, doesn't function like an average person's. He sees things in a different way, and he sees possibilities, and he sees where things are needed, and he's able to figure out how to make something that would benefit the situation. And not everything always goes to plan, and he ends up embarrassing Charlotte, his wife, a lot, but the portal is like his ultimate triumph, and it just completely erases everything else into like this small little pulp. And something about that redemption for Henry really makes me happy inside, because I love you, Henry. I love you. 2. This is almost number 1, guys. Like, this is like borderline on the edge number 1. But what it's the Fear Landscape Serum in Divergent. Figuratively, this gives me hope because they are able to mess with the brain chemistry enough to put you in the simulation in your brain to manipulate it that much. It gives me hope. Because I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, I have a serotonin deficiency in my brain. It's not fatal or anything. I'm not going to die. But serotonin is this chemical in your brain that helps regulate depression and like anxiety and stuff, and I have like almost zero. And so I have to take an artificial serotonin. It caused me to have some problems in my life. Now I'm fine because I take the artificial stuff. But it gives me hope that in the future, if theoretically, if they can mess with your brain enough to get you to think of your own fears and put yourself through that, they would be able to mess around, they would be able to fix the serotonin deficiency permanently, and I wouldn't have to take a pill every morning. Literally, I love the fear landscape because I would love to do one, and I know people are thinking, why would you want to do the fear landscape? That is terrifying. I want to do it because I really want to know what my subconscious is terrified of. I want to know what I'm really, truly terrified of. Because if I think really long and hard, the only thing that really terrifies me, like that I just think of and I just get chills, is the concept of infinity and what came before everything. Like, because there had to be some kind of precursor. And then also just the idea, because I am religious, and the idea of living forever, something about that really scares me. And I think it's the fact that our human existence is limited, and so we aren't going to be here. We don't have a concept of infinity. And like, I would just be really curious to see how my subconscious like works with that. Anyways, number one is the mutts, and really just the genetic animal mutations that happen in the Hunger Games. This really fascinates me. I don't know why society they are able to genetically modify animals, something that we have a relative surplus of, for military purposes. Really, really makes me think, and it really, really fascinates me. Because, like, think of it, if we could genetically modify squirrels, we have a surplus of squirrels. If we could genetically modify squirrels to be like little mini squirrel spies, nobody's ever going to suspect a squirrel. I mean, those things just eat little nuts and they look so cute. But if like you genetically modify it to where it's like the Jabberjay and it can play back, the idea of having something genetically modified, I mean, and the end result, what I'm thinking is less human life lost because of animals, and some people are going to think, oh, that's awful, but I'm talking not like endangered species, I'm talking like animals that we have a surplus of, like hogs. That would be terrifying. I think this is a good idea. I think that we really need to have a division in the United States government dedicated to modifying surplus animals that there are surpluses of. Terrifying. These things are terrifying. I am done for today. It is my birthday, so you know, if you like wanted to subscribe to me, that would be the best present you could ever give me.